Good morning. Hey, welcome to the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum show. Today is We Team Wednesday, right? Where we talk about team stuff. And I'm going to give you some tactical, practical. Kind of touched on these things throughout different episodes, but I figured I'd bring it back up just as a tool for you to use to help control the environment around you a little bit, or at least attempt to. I mean, you could just give up, throw your hands in the air, and just go, oh, well, it is what it is, and I can't get nothing done. Or you can try to control that a little bit and influence how people interact with you, hopefully in a positive way. And the way you do that is with transparency with your calendar, transparency with your Scrum boards and things like that. And this is something you can share with yourself and your team and anybody you know, because it really applies to anything you do. It doesn't have to be IT, but it's a good mix. So today we're going to talk about how you can use transparency, which is kind of like, I mean, if I let everyone know what I'm doing, then I get more stuff done. Yes, that's how it is. It's not about hiding what you're doing from your coworkers, it's about letting them see what you're doing with your coworkers. And there's a difference in philosophy because so many people try to hide things. I'm a believer in letting everyone know because it's work is work. So this is the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. I am Greg Mester, Scrum Master and Agile Coach. And here we talk about Scrum and Agile in a very practical and tactical way so you can bring more value to your customer, not work those crazy hours to get the value to your customers, and have a little fun along the way. And today we're going to be a little bit more on the selfish or the we part. How do you get the team to communicate and share when things are available so you're not always hearing all day long, I'm too busy, everyone interrupts me. So let's talk about that. How can we make that work a little bit better? And first, I like, just so everyone knows, I just started posting up podcasts with the stories of Bubbles, the tales of Bubbles, the Calico Cat. So they are up there. A couple of episodes are up. I'll post another one today. Today's episode is going to be about Heart and her little adventures. And put up a post. I'm gonna experiment. Oh, and there's a poll out there on LinkedIn. If you don't mind, if you could take the poll, let me know if you think it's good to have a episode. I call it a serial. It's like an offshoot of this show of ChatGPT, where we ask ChatGPT create a blog post on this subject, and it's building of its memory on Bubbles and Heart and Jerry and building. It's actually I'm pretty impressed with it. But then I post up what it comes up with, turn it into a podcast. There's a written form version on our 5 a.m. Mester Scrum website, and then I also have a podcast version that goes out. Right now, I'm going to do it at around lunchtime, and then on the East Coast, so around 12 o'clock East Coast time, and then just get a survey out there. Is it better to do it every day, once a week? How often might people listen to it? And I'm not holding anybody to listen to it. I'm curious. It's fun, right? There's so much stuff out there that's so complicated, technical, and I wanted to put something out that was lighthearted and easy to go and learning something at the same time. Kind of weird, isn't it? Anyway, we're off on a tangent, talking about not about the topic, but what I put out with Bubbles. The Tales of Bubbles, the Calico Cat, which is out there now in podcast form and written form. So, and we're still experimenting how to put that out too, by the way. So, on this topic, transparency, controlling your environment. So many people think if I don't tell everyone what to do, I have control over everything. Well, you don't. Okay. Let me ask you, do people interrupt you while you're in the middle of stuff? Do they pester you? Do you ask for help? They ask questions throughout the day, anytime during the day? If they are, then you're not in control. You have not set up your boundaries, and they don't have any idea what they are, right? They have no idea. So a couple things I'm going to put out there. I'm going to put out, let's start with the calendar, the digital calendar that you may have. So we talked about it the other day where you should go out and put some time in there for working on your tasks, your stories, whatever you're doing, and in your Scrum team or your Kanban team. Say, hey, I want to spend an hour working on this, an hour on that, and you put it in your calendar. Got the idea from Ed Milet, who's a multi-billionaire, very rich guy, very big podcaster, and adapted that to what we do in our day to life now. And also on the Happy Engineer podcast, they talk about scheduling some time for your career growth. So between the two of them, I put that two together where now we take our tasks, our stories, whatever we're working as far as the group work goes and the work we have, and putting them in our calendar. So this provides visibility from a pool perspective. Like if somebody wanted to ask you something or ask a meeting or have a meeting with you, they can see on your calendar what you're working. Now, what I'm giving you is something different. This is the transparency part. Not only they can see your calendar's full, and maybe they'll find a spot in there for them to work with you. When they see the title, they know you're actually working on something. When I see, this is just me, but I'm pretty sure it's everywhere. If I see you just blank off working as a time box on your calendar, I'm just going to assume you're generally working and there's no structure to what you're doing. So there's no plan. Therefore, I can interrupt you. Now, do I do that? No. I will send you a message and say, hey, while you're working on something, is it possible to set up some time to meet and talk? But it doesn't provide enough transparency to what you're doing, so everyone else in the group knows what it is. Because like you're in daily Scrum and you talk about, hey, I'm working on this hot topic. They know it's a hot topic and then let you go because they don't want to mess with you while you're working on something that's very important, right? But if you just put a generic working, they're going to mess with you. They're going to come in and they're going to say, hey, can I meet with you later? Trust me, because I do it. Well, that's me, but I have no doubt. And you can tell me I'm wrong. Oh, never it happens. Like that way, I'd throw the bull, flag out on that one. So that's one. So you got your calendar, right? So you're putting that out there so people can see. Now, also in your Scrum board, if you have nothing on your Scrum board and just one thing that's there all week, that doesn't set a transparency to see that you're working on stuff. Maybe you're working on subtasks. You put those subtasks in that you're working, because if you have one thing on your board and it doesn't move all week, sooner or later people are going to penetrate that barrier and ask you for help. That generates, oh, I've been busy all day because I'm answering everyone's questions, because they don't respect your boundaries. You haven't set up your environmental boundaries yet. But by having a combination of your calendar and your Scrum board full of stuff that you're working on and kind of give some information, you don't get that respect. You don't get the boundary set up, right? So this is where being transparent will help you control your conversation. Now, in your calendar, you can also say, hey, I have free time when you, oh, this is a great one. So during daily Scrum, just let everyone know I'll be doing this. And at 1 o'clock to 2, I'm planning to have free time in case anybody needs to connect with me from 1 to 2. I'll be available. Just check my email. If you need me to help you on a project, that is the time to ask, right? That's when I'm having open door, so I can get my stuff done and support you at the same time. See, now you're controlling your environment because you're letting them know when you'll be available. It corresponds to your calendar. It corresponds to the work you're doing. It's all in sync. Now, some might say, Greg, that's an awful lot of work. It's really not. It may take 15 minutes. It's, the time you go drink your cup of coffee, you go look at the beginning of the day, figuring out what's on your board, task it out, lay it out before the daily Scrum. I'm going to do this and this. This is my initial plan. Unless something comes up during daily Scrum that someone changes it, and this block, there's 2 blocks during the day. And I would do something in the morning and something in the afternoon and not wait full 4 hours. I mean, come on. It's like our stakeholders. People think, oh, we can have a 4-week sprint, or we can have a 2-month-long sprint, and we don't have to change our backlog. No, they can't handle it. Your stakeholders can't, business can't handle it. they need ability to come in and change the backlog as things evolve. The shorter the sprint, the better. So I kind of went off on that, but no, it doesn't happen. So if you have like an hour or so, or half hour in the morning, a half hour or so in the afternoon, put some blocks up there, voice it out in your schedule on your daily scrum, and share that with the team so they know when to connect with you. Like, when are you open? I'm open. And you know what? It also sets up a point of happiness or openness to interruption. If I'm heads down in my work, right, and someone comes to me, now, yes and no, it happens. But let's say I'm in the middle, I might go, you know what? I just quit doing what I'm doing. I have this reaction. So now you're setting yourself up for failure because you're so packed in with work to do. Someone asks you a question, they really do need your help. And this is a team sport or team activity. You come up very defensive, they'll never come back to you again, and they'll talk bad about you and trash you, right? I'm just being honestly simple here. So by having that window, you're more open. Hey, yeah, cool. Let's work on it. Let's work on it together. And you got that pump up attitude, which I'll talk about on another episode about Eddie's baseball game last night. God, they were so depressed. Anyway, well, in the beginning, they were so blah. And that's why they lost the game. But now you're open to it. You're eager to help other people. You set up your boundaries. You controlled your environment. This is all because you're transparent what you're doing. I know some calendar systems, some companies won't let everyone see your calendar. I don't care because it's work. If I'm out, I'm out. I'm not being honest with that. If I'm doing something else, I put in my calendar, I'm doing something else. It is what it is. And then the other thing is these new chat systems that are out there. I'm pretty sure Teams does it. I think you can set up the integration with Slack also, where it corresponds with your calendar. So now in Teams, if you're busy in a meeting on the calendar, it shows in Teams that you're busy there. So people know that if you send the message, you're probably in the middle of a meeting, or they can go in and look at your calendar to see what you're really doing, see if it's okay to interrupt you, or, hey, I see you're in this meeting, but it looks like you're going to be open, at 10:30. So I'll just hold off until 10:30. Then I'll message you and ask you what to do. People will respect that if they see it as a habit of you broadcasting what you're working on. So I wanted to share that with you as a team, how do we work together as a group, respecting each other's boundaries, getting more stuff done, being a positive attitude, and just using transparency, which is a key pillar, a key thing for Scrum, and use that, and agility, by the way, and use that transparency to help control our environment. And I'm telling you, it's going to be a lot better than not doing it. I mean, you have a wide open calendar with nothing there, they're going to pester you anytime during the day, even if your head's down, because they have no idea. And then in this virtual environment, it's really that's the case, because in the virtual, they can't see you, right? When you're in the office, you might see that their head's down doing something, got the headphones on, they're coding away. You kind of walk by and you figure you come back later. But they might come back and look at your calendar and say, oh, when are they going to be free? I'll send a note, or I'll set up some time to meet with them at that time. So I wanted to share that with you. Just an idea of using transparency to control your environment, to make sure that everything's going good, and sharing with the team whether you're busy or not. It's very important. It's a great way of helping you to feel more comfortable with helping your teammates. So with that, I say, have a great day. Happy scrumming. I'm going to go get a cup of coffee. I'm going to go figure my calendar out and publish it so they can see what I'm doing. With that, take care, everyone. Have a great day. And stay tuned for the next episode of The Tales of Bubbles, the Calico Cat. And today is her sister, Heart. Take care.